Hey, everybody. Matthew's not feeling great.
I feel terrific. I just lost my voice, which is perfect. Hey, you got to be quiet so everyone can hear me. All right? There's going to be no memeable clips coming out of this live stream. Why is it so funny? Don't laugh.
I don't know.
No, I can do it. I can do it. I swear to God, I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Hey, everybody. It's the Mythos Weekly Livestream. Gear Roundup. There's no gear this week.
Buy the pedal pushers.
By the Pedal Pushers. This is not the Pedal Pushers podcast. The Pedal Pushers podcast starts with a can cracking and then me going. That's how you know the Pedal Pushers is started. And when it says Pedal Pushers on the intro.
Yeah.
And when we say, hey, this is the Pedal Pushers podcast, this is a live stream.
Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out.
See, I feel terrific. I just lost my voice.
Yeah.
I feel wonderful. Better than ever.
Is that how I sound?
Is that how I sound? Yeah, there's a lot of people that are tuning in that are going like, thank God.
What is going on? So, lots of news. Mm-hmm. I want to get everything pulled up over on YouTube. And
what do you want to talk about?
well, I think it's time we're gonna field questions live about high voltage guitars.
Oh, yeah. High voltage.
High voltage.
See, I can do Bon Scott.
Riff raff.
I can do Bon Scott with this voice, no problem.
Yeah, he's just, man.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, the can has not spoken. I want to see that sleeve arm. They want to see that.
Let's see. Does Matthew's sleeve arm look bigger than his other arm?
It's because he's got his hand here.
Got this.
So he's pushing.
You got it. It's like, you can do this, a little bit of this. I mean, I think they're the same size. I mean, this one should be bigger, if you know what I'm saying.
So
Starting off right.
yeah, this is normal. This is normal.
All right, so we're starting a guitar store in 2024.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I could not be more excited about it.
Yeah, we just got our Novo shipment. We filmed that, so I'll try to add that to the pile of
You have more to do.
junk I gotta do.
Yeah. So I got my shirt on today.
Novo shirt.
The OG, this is the very first ever Novo shirt made.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of them from 2016.
Dang.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very exciting. All the things are coming together. We are almost a month away
Yeah.
from when the shop will be open. So
why don't you sort of give the breakdown, because I can't talk, of like why we decided to do this. You did a little bit in the video, but I think we can expand on it a little bit. Like, why?
yeah,
Like, dive in a little bit more.
the why is a big a big thing to cover. So we kind of have talked about. Well, I talked about it in the announcement video, how, I get antsy, get restless. Mm-hmm. The pedal world is interesting right now, to say the least. And one of the things I've always wanted to do is open a guitar store. And so in a lull, we were just chatting. And
Yeah.
Matthew said, like I said, he said, well, if you weren't going to do this, what would you want to do every day? And the first thing I said, like, without hesitation, I said,
No
I want
hesitation.
to open a guitar store. And so,
And then without hesitation, I said, let's open a guitar store.
and then did I call the bank that day?
I think so. No, because that was like, I think, towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it was the next day. It all happened. Like, we were literally decided to do it overnight, I think. And we were ready to go.
Yes. So called the bank, got it lined up. It was getting a loan was a bit of a fight, not with the bank or anything, but because the type of loan we were getting, we had to have quotes and invoices and all this stuff. Because normally when people do this, it's like, hey, I'm growing my business. I need to buy a forklift, or I need to buy a CNC machine, or whatever. Like, you have like these things that have a specific price.
We needed inventory.
Yes.
That's what we were getting money for, is to buy product for the store. And so we had to get invoices from all the manufacturers. Like, it literally, as soon as we asked them if we could carry their stuff.
Yeah, we had to say, hey, I know we haven't signed any dealer agreements yet, but can you send us an invoice that we can pass on to the bank? It doesn't have to be real. We just have to have numbers on it.
We'll just make it ourselves if you don't want to.
I did make a few because I had some emails and people were like, oh, this is the price. And the bank said, that they couldn't take a screenshot of an email. So I was like, well, I'll just make one. And I did, and it worked out.
Yeah.
But it all happened very fast. Rhett's here. Robert Baker's here.
Man.
Awesome.
Very cool.
But we're just really excited to start this. I told Matthew on Wednesday, driving to pick up the Novos, it really felt like I was like entering into the next chapter of my life.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt like that probably since I moved out of the house to bring the shop out of my garage. Yeah,
I think it's like it's for as kind of a big deal as it is to do this, it feels incredibly natural.
Yeah.
And like it's all the stuff that we already like to do. We like to obviously talk gear. That's why we do this show. We like to go to guitar stores constantly. That's why we do it all the time and do videos about it. And we like to buy stuff because we both do that. Oh. And so it makes a whole lot of sense is that it's like a natural extension. Like when we've been talking since you and I became friends and then started talking business about all the different stuff that we could do to supplement Mythos, because you and I, want things to be really great.
Yeah.
Want to succeed, and also we like being very busy. Mm-hmm. We like being too busy. That's kind of what we both are into.
Yeah.
I'm really actually surprised this took so long to come up. Well, considering all the different stuff that we brought up, like we could build guitars, we could build amps, we could, do a import line with pedals, we could do cheaper pedals, we could do higher end pedals. Like we thought of all kinds of stuff. Why do you think it took so long for a guitar store to come up?
I don't know. I think because 2024 has been probably the most interesting. Sorry, I can't have stuff in my hands or I'll pick at it. Has been the most interesting year yet in the kind of normalization of the gear industry after COVID.
Yeah.
I think a lot of dealers are kind of saying they're returning to 2019 sort of normality. Some people are way beyond that. It depends on, what happens in the interim. But for us, we definitely feel like we've found our footing. But because of the industry being a bit topsy-turvy, we just said, look, we want something that we know will be something we can do, but also something that we think we could be successful at and really fill a gap here in the Nashville area.
Yeah, and I think it's a natural thing to start a business where you feel that there is an area of that people want that's lacking. And we obviously really love a lot of the guitar stores in the area. We love doing guitar tours, but we kind of as shoppers for the guitars and some of the gear that we like, we couldn't find it anywhere. Mm-hmm. And, and have a very specific experience that we would like. And there's all kinds of really good guitar stores around the country that are like that. And we thought, well, we'd heard some things from people, especially guys like Eli from Two Rock and Carlos from Castadosa, and we had noticed, and things are happening in Nashville beyond that. But when we decided, it was we want to go to stores to check this stuff out and have this kind of experience. And if we want to, then we could provide that for people, and it could be really cool. Yeah.
Doyle asked when the store will will the store serve lunch? I thought it said will it launch?
I mean, I do plan on, one of my long-term visions for the store is to have a full coffee shop in the store, because again, I want things that I would like, and I like coffee shops and I like pastries. So
high voltage food court. But kind of like that idea too.
We might do that, but we want to be full service.
Yeah, so, as of yet, we will not serve lunch. We will have beverages, and
we will have fizzy waters. We'll have coffee
and tea
and all that stuff,
and maybe some Rice Krispie treats if they're still here. But one of the questions that we've got a lot so far since the announcement was why only high end.
Yes.
And I think part of that, I mean, hopefully we've explained it, but if you still don't kind of get it, that exists in town. You can go to Guitar Center or Corner or,
Guitar Center or Corner.
That's kind of it. But Guitar Center and Corner offer a great selection of more import-friendly, more budget-friendly, not as boutique equipment. Yeah. So that exists, and I didn't want to dive into that world, and also
space too.
The space and the investment, to get
those lines.
You got to spend so much money, and I feel like
very high. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of those places as well, or a lot of those companies as well, are starting to do a lot more direct sales. Not that, I mean, like Novo sells direct, Castadosa sells direct, but you can't.
Actually, Castadosa does not sell direct.
Oh, they don't?
They don't.
Oh, okay, never mind.
They sell direct to me.
Yeah, well, I guess when you're in.
When you're in, you can write to them and say like, "Hey,
scratch that." But some companies that we'll be working with do sell direct.
Yes.
But the point of these guitars is to come experience them, and I don't think people would get all that excited if we said, "Hey, we're going to have Fender or anything like that."
What do you think the you know this obviously? What's the square footage of our showroom?
It's probably about 600 or 700 square feet, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have, we need to have a counter. We've got accessories. We've got pedals. We're only really going to have like maybe 20 guitars on display at all times, maybe 25. We'll have amps. So part of this is knowing that like we're just going to have small inventory because that's all we've got room for. Because we still have all of Mythos in the back. Mm-hmm. And then, we got to have storage for all the guitars and amp boxes and all that stuff. So a lot of it is just practical. It's like, and just how much money we need to lay out to start. Like you said, if you get Fender or Gibson or any of those, it's a big, big commitment.
Okay, so... We've already got some questions about what brands. So let's run through what brands we're gonna have.
Okay, let's hit guitars first. Go.
Novo.
Fano.
We got all of Dennis's creations.
Thanks, Dennis.
We're gonna have Castadosa.
Yeah.
And Rock and Roll Relics.
Yes.
And those are the 4
main ones.
New brands, and we'll have used stuff.
We've already got a few pieces. Yeah.
Some more on the way, and then with amps, we'll have Dr. Z, 2 Rock, divided by 13.
Yeah.
And we're talking to some other really really fancy guitar amplifier companies. And then pedals, we're just gonna have Mythos.
Just Mythos.
And we do carry Dunlop stuff, so we're gonna have some really cool Dunlop wahs.
Yes.
Which is like, I know people get real heady about wahs and stuff. Jam, a lot of great companies make really high end wahs, but I honestly think
classic, baby.
The Crybabies, when they're true bypass, when they have the right inductor, sound great. And there are a few other really
interesting things that we've talked about.
Yes, it's other builders that it's like very small run things.
Yeah, but we're not going to, since we make pedals, we're going to stick mostly to us, but we're going to have some really cool and maybe some surprising and neat things from us. That'll be high voltage exclusive.
Should we talk about that a little bit? I mean, so
yes,
we were talking with some fellow builders, and being that Nashville does have a variety of stores that carry huge numbers of brands
and our pedals,
yeah, it gets a little muddy trying to figure out who you should carry, and Eastside has 2 Rock. That was a conversation that Blair and I had to have to, make sure everything would be okay in that. But we don't want to cross-pollinate
too much.
That much. So we were looking at these brands and saying, maybe they can make us this sort of thing or make us that. And then we all looked at each other, Jeff, Matthew, and myself, and we're like, wait.
We can make it.
We make pedals. We know how to make anything we want. So,
yes.
That is going to be something that we're going to invest in. No acoustics. We have a used mule. But no, I'm not gonna carry any new acoustics, and I don't really want to deal in acoustics. For a couple reasons, mainly in the winter, humidity in this place is going to be
difficult.
A right pain. So, Shoyle's products in the shop, maybe at some point.
I mean, interesting things, but
yeah,
we're thinking about some, maybe doing some really cool high-end stuff, limited edition stuff.
Yeah,
for Mythos.
Yeah, so
yes.
Robert Baker, hey man, will there be high voltage exclusive guitars gear? Yeah. So the coolest thing about doing this, I think, is that it gives us the opportunity to design all the gear we're going to have at the shop, pretty much.
Yes.
From an aesthetic standpoint. But also, hopefully, if things go well, we can work with some of these brands, especially the guitar companies that have a little bit more flexibility. And we
literally just were at Novo, and so we talked to Travis and Devin about like how open they were, because I got a laundry list of stuff that Dennis never got to that I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And nothing crazy, but it would be really cool to do that. And obviously, I talked to Carlos a lot. And there's lots of stuff that I would be interested from him as well, and then the Fano guys would be up for it.
Yeah.
So we would love to have some stuff that nobody else gets, and that would be something really ideal for us. And that's kind of the whole idea of the store too, is to have stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin asked, is it going to be appointment or walk-ins? So I'm sure we're going to get walk-ins.
Yes.
Pretty consistently. But the hope initially is so we can balance the Mythos work.
Oh, we have to make paddles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that it's literally 3 of us. Sometimes I think about it for a second. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
It will mainly be appointment at first.
And it'll be me. Like most of the time.
Mostly you. I'll probably be in here, which, through that wall is the shop. Is the store.
I will not be offended if you come and say, "Oh, I was hoping that I would get to hang out with Zach or Jeff." If you do, I'm totally cool. I will not be. I mean, I will be, but I'll just play. I'll play it cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that to balance it, and it'll give us a good idea of what to have out in the store. So because we'll have an appointment, like a booking app thing.
Yeah, and if there's a piece that you want to make sure is prominently featured and we don't have out or something like that.
Yeah, and we'll make sure it's like strung up. We are not going to have a repair shop. We're not going to do mods. A lot of people have been asking about, am I going to do mods to guitars, or can you send guitars to me to mod? I don't have time, unfortunately.
I mean, I would love for you to have that kind of time.
I would love for me to have that kind of time. I would love to be able just to work on my Proton packs for fun. We are not going to be hiring anybody. We get a lot of questions about that.
A lot of questions.
We don't need anyone yet.
I mean, part of the entire operation working is the fact that the only new overhead we have is the inventory for the store.
In raising our insurance premiums.
Yes, with all that stuff.
That's it.
So it's like it's we're gonna see how long. I mean, I would love for it to get so crazy that we have to hire a full-time person to do the showroom.
And Morgan will help. My wife
will
help, and she'll be there.
And Graham's 6.
And Graham's great.
He's done shows before. He came to the Novo pop-up, and he was awesome handing out stickers.
Yeah, he's not afraid to go schlep. Will the building be an old fire station? One day I would love that. Would talk about a dream come true. So like the current plan is to just have it in the front of our current facility, which is just north of town. If you know the Madison area, we're basically one exit away off the interstate, and in an industrial park. This place, we have the lease until November of next year. So the plan is we're going to ride this out and see
how it goes.
A couple months into next year, how it's been going, and then we can decide, are we going to stay here, or are we going to try to rent something else?
I mean, I think having a full, like, big, awesome guitar store would be ideal at some point, where we could still make Mythos somewhere on the premises. So it's not separate. I don't like the idea of it being separate. No. Just because I don't want to have to travel that much.
Right, yeah. You don't even like going to get lunch. We got to send Jeff.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. Once I'm at work, I hate leaving. That's just I'm weird about it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I like this. There's 3 Mythos employees, only 2 on camera. Jeff don't work on Fridays.
Jeff does not work on Fridays.
Also, Jeff has 2 tiny babies.
Yes.
And is very, very busy with that. So
yeah, and Jeff is our builder. So Jeff he's making these things
most of the time.
Most of the time,
you see him pop up in our shop photos, and I'm sure he will pop up in more videos here and there when we need him. He's a much better guitar player than me, so if you need a second person to do demos, it's going to be Jeff before me. I do a very specific thing, and when it calls for it, I will do it.
Yes,
but not most of the time. It'll be
when we need to fire up Meat Patrol.
Meat Patrol. That is my main preset on my HX Stomp is called Meat Patrol. I just imagine when you play it, you do this. Yeah, it's a 5150. It's a 5150, like with a little reverb, and then the only foot switch I have on there, the pedal is a flanger. Dang, it is so fun. It's flanging, dude. It's flanging hard. You can stop and get a Crystal Burger. Yes, you can. They got gravy now, too, and shrimp. Yeah, Robert, what are you doing over there? Come over here and hang out with us, and we'll go get some gravy. Oh, my God. Gravy. When can I get a high voltage shirt, Phil? Soon. Coming soon. They're on order. On order. As well as hats. And I like seeing the stickers out in the wild. We threw some stickers as a surprise in with the Labor Day sale. Yeah. And so we've seen them pop up already on the internets, and they look really clean, and I'm excited about sort of, some guerrilla marketing. Yeah. Oh, gotta work on that kerning, but it's getting there. Oh my God. You and your kerning. But yeah, we're just I feel pretty anxious because I'm being pulled in a lot of directions just because we're finishing the website stuff. Still have a lot to do in the shop. We have to build our counter. That'll be next week's project. Oh my God, there's so much to do. So let me ask you this question. Yeah. What are you most excited about, like owning a guitar store? Like as of right now, without actually, it might change as things roll out, but like what part of it are you most excited about? I'm most excited about Billy Gibbons walking through the door and being like, how. It's going to happen. Yeah. Yes. But no, like seriously, like my favorite, or the thing I look forward to the most is just getting. I love connecting people with gear. Yeah. And that moment when someone grabs something and I go, oh, because it's a visible switch. It's like when people first heard the Hephaestus, and in person when you play a note and you go oh, and people hear it, they're like oh. And I've seen people do that with guitars or amps or whatever. Like my friend Hobby, my barber. Yeah. He came here and he played all the Two Rocks. And he's like, wait, why do they sound this good? Like seeing that reaction and letting people then, either it's something that they can take home with them or they now have a thing to aspire to. It's the part that we like the most because like we love getting gear and we love getting new gear and we love talking about getting new gear and like that search, and we all do. That's why you're watching this right now. And so like being able to like just like we're the kind of people that are always excited about that for everybody. And so it's like I think getting a chance to like be a part of that journey for me, it is. I'll ask myself the same question. Oh yes, if you didn't care. Sorry. No, I care. No, you're doing great. To me, it's twofold. It's number one, I'm really excited about getting to custom order stuff for people. Like I'm really excited. It's the same idea as seeing that. Like, but getting people to call me and say, Matthew, I want to design a Novo. Like, who else would they? I want to be like, you have to call Matthew. Like, I want the streets to be like, if I want these guitars or I want these amps, you have to call the rapper from the UK. No, the streets be talking. I want it to be like, we have to call Matthew, or you have to call Zach, or you have to call Jeff, you have to call High Voltage, and like, talk to them about it because they're the guys that are going to set you straight. Like, that's that reputation I crave that. Like, that's what I loved about when I was at Novo, is doing that for people. And then, now I want to sort of bring that back, but across the board. Yes. And the second thing is, I know this is going to sound a little, not conceited, but like, I'm excited because I know we're going to absolutely fucking kill it. Yeah. Because this is like with pedals, there's a lot of luck involved. It's like hard to figure out like what are people gonna like, what artists might play your stuff. Like, you kind of bang your head against the wall figuring out, well, what circuits should we do? We like this. How do we bring this to market? What dealers are gonna come on? But with a guitar store, I feel like that we just sheer force of like work ethic and personality, we're
like
gonna
you need
do
a cigarette
well.
in your mouth right now. This is how you.
I know, but I know me and I know you, and I know that like, I know we're gonna. I'm saying something sincere. Right
I
now.
know. I love it.
But I know. But that's what I'm excited about is that I know that like we kind of control more of our destiny.
Yeah.
With High Voltage than Mythos, and I feel like that's something that I've been like sort of really excited about. It's like the industry is so hard, but I know that people love going to guitar stores and talking gear and hanging out.
Yes.
And if we could just sell enough, pedals and coffee, and then a guitar occasionally will be okay. I know we can do it.
A handful of muffins a month.
Oh my God! I will make the business plan enough to where we can sell enough of that stuff. We'll be good.
Well, that's the hope, right? Yeah. And lucky for us is, like we mentioned, our overhead is not going to be changing.
No.
So all we have to do is sell like 1 or 2 guitars, and it's like, okay, we've made it. We can pay our debt. And like that's fine, and so it's not going to be this high pressure, and and that's one of the things, because as much as there is an abundance of options in town, and not to disparage or belittle anyone else's store,
nope.
I very rarely go into a store that I feel welcome at. I don't feel unwelcome.
Yeah.
But, I don't often get that sense of like the excitement from the people working there that they're happy I'm there. Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a little bit of a different situation because people know who we are.
Yeah. Yeah, that helps.
In town.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like I want anyone that comes to the store, regardless of why you're coming, just to have a great time and hang out and if you're running around town going to shops, you got to go to High Voltage and you got to come hang out and grab a drink and see what we've got at the shop.
Scroll back up. There was a question I wanted to address.
There was a good one.
Here.
This one
right here. Yeah.
Neil, great question. How will it affect the Mythos Road Map? Will it mean a slowdown in the new releases?
I'll take this. This guy's psychotic about working too much, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it feels like with pedals, we've slowed down quite a bit in the aspirations that we had, because when we first moved into this building, I think I had 20 circuits and stuff that were in
mix
process, and that has been reined way back to just say what can we actually do, what's actually going to sell, what's worth the effort,
what can we bring to market,
and the market is weird right now. So we have a release. We just say we have a release coming out next Thursday.
You all know what it is.
Yeah, you just don't know the name of it. No one's guessed the name, which is great.
I love the name.
I love the name.
It's such a good name. I will. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm shocked. No, if someone's used it and we somehow missed it, I'm going to be so upset. But no one's used this name. But we have there's quite a bit of
lots of
stuff coming out.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned this on, I don't know if it was a YouTube comment or whatever, but like one of the hard parts about working in the pedal game now is kind of creating something that's like an evergreen seller. And what I mean by that is that it's hard. Like I kind of think like for the most part, and I think a lot of brands would say this, is like most of their revenue generating is coming up with new stuff, releasing it, selling a bunch, and then it dulls back down, and then you do it again, and like that's a very hard sort of pace to keep up.
Yeah.
And it's not great for the market either, because what you want stuff that's like you come out with it and then hopefully people really like it and it sells consistently. And it's hard because I think people always want new stuff. They always want to put new stuff on their board. They always want to try new things. And it's like we're sharks and you got to keep eating. And while we're doing that, which we will continue to do with Mythos so we can keep it up, it's nice to have this other thing that we can work on so it's not so draining.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
And this sort of endeavor is no stranger to me. I've done e-commerce since I was a teenager. So like the website and all the kind of the back end of it, once that's built and that's done, so that work's done. And then I honestly think the hardest part is going to be staying on top of keeping inventory fresh and in making sure that things are on order, because that is the greatest unknown, at least for me. That we have things like Novo is able to turn stuff. They're probably the quickest.
They're in a good spot right now.
They got a new CNC machine.
They got a Haas, baby.
Yeah, so like their efficiency is way up, so we can kind of count on that. But with 2Rock or Rock and Roll Relics or even Fano, like I'm unsure what lead times are going to be, how all that will kind of play into how we maintain inventory. But I'm super excited about.
I would love for it to be such a problem where we're like, well, we sold every guitar.
Yeah.
They're coming in November or December.
Repaid our debt, and now we're just gonna
hang out with everybody.
You can come get Mythos pedals and packs of strings, because we can get those all day long. So and we forgot to talk about the accessories.
We have Dunlop. You mentioned Dunlop.
Dunlop and D'Addario.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Divine.
And Divine Noise
for our cables.
And Throwback pickups.
Mm-hmm.
So those. Divine Noise and Throwback, killer, like top tier cables and pickups, as good as you can get. And then I wanted Dunlop for the picks.
Yeah, dude.
D'Addario for the strings.
Yeah, dude.
And some of the other accessories like winders and things like that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go too crazy. We just don't have the space. Like I would love to have Ernie Ball as well.
Yeah.
But how much?
We don't have a pick wall or a string wall. We've got one thing that we stole from the going out of business sale from Sam Ash.
Well, oh man, we all so Sam Ash, like you guys know, went out of business and now they're bought and they have there's a new future Sam Ash thing on the way. I've seen some stuff on Facebook, but we bought a killer like accessory display and another stand that's going to be pedal.
We didn't steal it. It
was $100.
It was a steal
and an incredible deal. Kevin, I don't live in Nashville. Will you ship? I would love to buy or get my.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Anywhere. Yeah, we're like
website's
shipping.
going to be tight.
Yeah, shipping internationally is going to be a bit of a
headache, a learning process for us.
But shipping in the States, we're going to have all of the packaging and the infrastructure here to ship really anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's no problem. So yes, with 2Rock, we're getting pretty much. I don't think we're getting a steel. What's the steel string singer one called? Phil 40 watt would know. We're not getting that one, but I think we're getting most all the other ones.
Yeah.
We would love to do that. And the cool thing with all those things is like if you want something, we're gonna have demos of everything best we can. Yeah. But if you say, hey, I'd really love to hear this with that or with the pedal or whatever, you just send us an email. We'll shoot you a video and zip it over to you. Cutthroat amps. I'm talking to Ron. We'll see. No String Joy. No String Joy.
They're kind of everywhere.
They are. They're
and that's cool, but
D'Addario's everywhere. Dunlop's everywhere. But our budget for
accessories is tight.
Mostly our loan was for guitars and amps, and so String Joy, the premium that you have to pay for String Joy strings, just didn't really fit with what we were trying to do. I don't have a problem with it, but it just it didn't make sense for us. And I don't want to have every gauge strings. I don't want to have every brand of string. It's like, hey, I need a pack of 10s. Like there's D'Addario XLs. There you go. Yeah. That's all we're gonna do. Really simple, to the point, straightforward. Austin, the new store is going to be in the front of our shop up here in Goodlettsville, just north of Madison.
Yep.
And opening October 8th on my birthday.
Yeah.
Silver sterling signature.
That's
Man,
it.
that's a
Say
tongue
that.
twister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Nick Miller. Is the goal to keep it small or grow it and add more brands, larger inventory? Eventually.
I would like to be the greatest guitar store of all time.
I
mean, why not? We're starting on what we can handle based on our size, the amount of people that we have, the amount of money that we could get. And then, we want to see where it goes, but I see no reason why we wouldn't. If people like coming here and the brand starts getting strong, that, why not? We wouldn't nerf ourselves intentionally. If we can do it, we'll do it.
Yeah. Will we sign the back of a purchased guitar? You don't want us to sign it.
We didn't make it. We didn't make it. No, I wouldn't do that.
It's on the box.
Yeah.
Or I would sign a gig bag.
Yeah.
Or a case or something. Will we have a private listening room for amps? No.
The whole room's a private listening room.
Yeah, it's appointment only, so it's going to be private. We will have my aux and...
we'll have a headphone station up for the pedals.
So you can try stuff in silence.
Mm-hmm.
Or, if you're like, hey, I just want to play this guitar, I don't want to be loud, then you can do that. We'll set everything up so that you're able to enjoy the shopping experience without feeling like playing guitar in front of people is nerve-wracking.
Oh, I hate playing in front of you.
Yeah.
I sound so good at home. You have no idea.
Yeah. Grand opening shenanigans.
Are we going to do a party?
We might do a small thing, invitation only, just because we only have so much space.
Yeah.
But that will be...
This is funny. I like this.
Package deal. Oh, the Boomer pack.
More money than sense starter pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really look forward to all the content we can make where someone's like, okay, you got to build a rig for $1,000, and it's like, there's a Mythos Mjolnir.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we know there's going to be people that are going to say, oh, you guys are just catering to dentists and blues lawyers and all that stuff. And I know the gear that we're going to have is going to be high end. And, it's just, this is, in our good fortune, this is the stuff that we play. And this is stuff that we like. And we are older, so we've acquired enough gear to sell enough gear that we have money to pay for this stuff.
Yeah, we've been working since we were teenagers, so we have savings accounts.
And I've, all the gear that I've got, has been earned through working in the industry too, and being gifted things and for the work that I've done and all that stuff, and then having a very lovely patient wife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
hopefully you guys have those spouses as well, and
we're not gonna do any hiding shit from your wife stuff. We're not gonna we're not gonna find any jokes about how you are bringing a case so you can take the same case home so you can sneak it past your spouse. That's all bullshit.
I will
do that.
I will mock up a receipt that says 90s pornography. I will do that for you if you want me to. If you want it not to say guitar, the only other thing I will put on there is 90s pornography.
TW Smith guitar is great. I've played them.
They don't make a ton, right?
No, I don't know. Does he have dealers? Will you mostly have blues boutique amps or modern high gain amps too? I mean, you can play them however you want to play them. I mean, yes. a Two-Rock TS1 is
high gain,
liquid gain that you can shred for days on. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that sort of ideology of like, oh, this is just for blues dads or blues lawyers is pretty bullshit.
It's all about feel. Yeah. I mean, I play a California Tweed and I make that thing fucking cry.
Yeah.
For how hard I play that thing. And that's not a high gain rock and roll amp like people would say, but I love the way that amp feels, and so it works for me. For
a while, Baroness was like touring with Fender amps.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like I never thought I would see that.
From the source, I was talking to the Stu, the lead singer of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I had an opportunity to hang out with those guys after the show on Saturday night and asked them, well, what amp you playing? Because they have like an extensive metal portion of their set now. It's a Hot Rod DeVille.
Yeah.
Just cranked to the gills with a little boost.
It's all about how you play.
We will have amps that can do it all.
What, will there be used gear? Yes, Nick, there will be used gear. We have that Landau Strat is used. We have a Mule. We have Bad Cat amp. We have a couple Bad Cat amps. We got some Tone King stuff that's all used so far. And let's see.
TS1.
Ooh. McCarty single cut tomorrow. Will I be disappointed if I think of it as a Les Paul? Are you getting a 594 single cut?
Yeah.
So having played them, I can say with the utmost confidence, if you want a Les Paul sound and you're getting a single cut 594 McCarty, it does a vintage style Les Paul sound.
Yeah.
They feel that way because of the thickness of them and the neck. They are as good as you would want them to be for that style of music. It just looks a little different, and that's okay. I think the 594 in the more understated colors is just stunning. I found one on Reverb that was killer the other day.
I would initially, when I got into PRS and I eventually got my McCarty, I wanted a single cut. And the lawsuit stuff hadn't happened, so they were available.
Right.
But I kind of went with the McCarty because I wanted the classic design. At the time, that's kind of why I played them all. But in my heart, I still kind of go I just remember seeing those single cuts for the first time and just loving them. And so I gotta get one at some point.
Yeah.
I want to get everything at some point. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
This is why we're all here. We want to all get something at some point.
Bad gear, Soldano, Tone King.
Nah, it's not. That's good stuff.
Not bad.
Bad.
It's not bad at all. I love my Soldano. It's right behind Matthew.
Yeah.
And I think Tone Kings are great. It's just the thing about a lot of these brands.
You never know which way to move.
I know it's always opposite.
Yeah.
There's a fine line to walk when you're trying to determine what you're going to carry. And Boutique Amps Distribution sent me a message. I have not yet got back with them.
What do they carry?
That's Tone King. That's Soldano. That's Wampler. That's Friedman. And I had a
like a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
I like all of it. Especially the amps. And I don't want to have it because you can go to Guitar Center and get it. So, and nothing against Guitar Center. I love Guitar Center. I want Guitar Center to survive and thrive. I think we need it. But I want stuff that's when you walk in and see it, you go, shit, look at all this.
Until we got to fill out a 5,000 square foot store one day. Then we'll have everything.
Yeah, then we'll have everything. Oh, I like this one. High tops or slip-ons. I'm guessing Zach is a high tops and Matt is a slip-on.
Complete opposite. Zach is a slip-on man.
Tom's.
And I wear. I got 5.9.
I got some New Balance.
574s.
Don't hurt yourself.
Oh God. I got 574s.
My groin.
I only wear 574s and Chucks. That's kind of it.
Yeah, I either wear Tom's. I have some Allbirds, which are slip-on, and then my Chelsea boots, which are also slip-on. Right. Very rarely.
Let's hit Tim O'Connell here. Interesting.
Is there an opportunity to have you procure something from Gibson on our behalf? Planning to buy a Les Paul Special next year, I would pay a premium for your opinion to shop and pick out the best one.
I mean, that's an interesting idea.
We've How much would it cost? How much should we charge someone just to go to the garage with them? Lunch and parking?
I would do it for lunch and parking. You said it before me. If you want to pay for parking and we can go to Peg Leg, I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
I'll
go. As long as it's a convenient time.
As long as I'm still getting paid by you.
Oh, me too? Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So I would love that opportunity. I don't think they would like us
going in there and doing personal shopping for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if you want to come to the store And this is like a big thing for me. It's like if you want to come to High Voltage and you want to hang out with us and talk gear and get to check out a brand that you've never checked out before and buy some strings and talk about the Les Paul that you're going to buy, please come.
Yeah. And then come back and show us. We want to see it.
But that's what we want. That's the kind of environment that we want to facilitate. And like, that's the energy that we want. I know somebody posted here, well, I won't be able to afford any of the brands that you carry. I say, bullshit, we're going to get you one of those guitars one day. But for now, we just want to be, like, as you said earlier, it's like we kind of missed that part of it, right? You're here, it's the three of us staring at each other, trying to decide between Taco Bell or Chick-fil-A or Bojangles.
Yeah.
And we're a little like, we just miss the hang a little bit. And I want, Guthrie Trapp and Billy Gibbons to walk through the door. I want you guys to walk through the door. I want everybody to be like, you're in Nashville, you got to go to High Voltage and you got to go see the boys. Like, that's what we want to do. And so if you want to come, Tim, and just talk about the Les Paul you want and then buy an exclusive High Voltage edition Mythos pedal while you're here, that's what we want.
Yeah.
You want to bring me food?
Oh, man.
I will eat it.
Yeah.
On camera. We'll do a story for your Instagram and I'll eat on camera. Whatever you guys want to do. It'll be fun. But
Lawrence.
That's what we want. Hi, Lawrence. How
Lawrence
you doing,
Petros. We featured the 87 in Dipped in Tone recently.
Ooh.
Let's see. Will we ship to Canada? I don't see why not.
I'm sure we will.
Oh, bad as in boutique amps.
Oh, that makes
That makes more sense.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
really slow. Really slow.
Okay. Well, fire off a few more questions for us.
Yeah.
We got about.
Will the store be
12 minutes.
humidified?
So during the fall, it will.
Yeah.
During the summer, like, it's totally fine in the south. There's enough moisture in the air. In fact, I run dehumidification. We have a big closet in the back of the shop where we keep all our pots and foot switches and stuff. And I run a dehumidifier in there because I want it to be dry.
Yeah.
So, but yes.
There is a decent donut. Yeah, there is a decent donut place nearby.
Yeah, by the Sonic.
Yeah,
It's great.
right there.
Oh, man.
Oh, more pedal questions. Pop that up. Yeah.
Whoa. Greg. I like this picture, dude.
Looks like Chuck Klosterman. Hope that's not an insult.
Who's Chuck Klosterman?
Oh, you don't know who Chuck Klosterman is?
Why would I ask if I knew?
I know. I'm saying it like, no, it's fine. I don't, he's a rock journalist, music journalist. Yeah. I read a lot of his crap for a long time.
Did he have a picture by all his
Looks
articles?
just like that. Looks just like that.
Yeah. I never read.
Oh, that's good.
Prince is dead. No. Do you plan to have to carry other pedals besides Mythos, something that doesn't overlap too much? Chase Bliss Benson. Chase Bliss is exclusive to Eastside Music Supply. They don't have any other dealers in North America.
Go get them there.
Go to Eastside. They
know one other store, I think.
I think so, but the Eastside boys know how to use those damn things. So
we don't know what we're doing. Those guys will show it off way better than us.
There's a lot of switches on the back. You can.
I think it goes bubble, 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 bubble.
This one goes wubble, 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 and this one goes. Benson. They also carry Benson. We will not have Benson.
There's a decent overlap with Benson.
And I think Benson is probably, they're a mass distro, right?
Yeah.
So
I think, like, as you said before, like, if it's something that we would like and we would carry, we probably want to make it ourselves. I think it just makes more sense. Like, for the most part, pedals are pretty, the distribution's pretty easy if you want it to be. As far as where you get it, and there's, like I said, tons of places in Nashville. So if there's anything, it's like we kind of listed internally some stuff. Well, maybe we carry this and this, and we're like, well, why don't we just make that? And that makes more sense. Or it's stuff that we don't sort of get into.
Yeah.
And so I would be horrific at selling Chase Bliss pedals. So
I would too.
I'd be so bad. And so I just go to Eastside and get it there.
And a lot of times, like Benson, which Chris is a great guy. Makes great stuff, but since his pedals go through distribution, typically how that works from behind the scenes is if you carry them, then you have to carry some more stuff. So you can't. Sometimes it's hard just to get one thing from distributors. They want you to carry multiple lines. Yeah. And being a pedal store, having a big pedal display case, all that is not what I care about, because that exists. Eastside, they have them.
They have it all.
So I don't want to compete with that, and they're not too far away from us, so you can stop there after you buy your Castadosa or your Novo or your Divided By,
Yeah.
and whatnot. But yeah. Tim, turning 40 next year. Hit us up in the spring. Buy us lunch at the shop and a case of our drink of choice. Man,
Tim already making it happen.
fizzy water all around. Let's see. Oh, cool. My midlife crisis has me considering buying out a local shop with its retirement age owner. They have a couple great lines. I worked in and managed a guitar shop for 10 years. Thoughts? There's so much to consider. One of the reasons why I think we're doing this is because we have such close proximity to the guitar capital of the world, at least as far as players. And, if I was in a different market, would I do a brick and mortar, create an online store? I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, we have a great space for it, so
yeah, it's
hard to say. I'd say do it because why not? It'll be fun.
Well, yeah, unless it'll cripple you financially or
No, don't
make sound decisions.
I mean, isn't that always the answer? Which is like do it as long as it's not something that would be terrible for your family.
For the most part,
yeah.
There's so much to think about, and what are your skill sets apart from working and managing the store? Do you have the skills to create an online business, to manage an online business, to reinvigorate that business if it's struggling? So there's a lot that would go into it, well beyond just the fact that it, is already established.
Well, and honestly, we've got 20,000 followers on YouTube. We have 50,000 on Instagram for Mythos. This is a pretty built-in audience to launch something like this. So it's an interesting question to kind of do it brand new. I mean, I wouldn't know,
Yeah.
Or if you're taking over an existing brand and you try to prop it up. Somebody asked if we're selling high-end pickups. We are.
Yeah, we're selling.
We'll have throwback.
We will have throwback. We will probably have the plastics.
Yes.
As well. We'll probably transition that away from the Mythos web store and onto High Voltage, or maybe both. I mean, like, what difference does it make so long as we can manage the inventory?
Yeah.
And Seymour Duncan sent me an email. I'm good friends with some of those guys, and they would probably want us to. I mean, they were definitely interested in us carrying those, and I would, but I would mainly only be interested in antiquities, and because here's the thing, the store has to have a theme, it has to have a vibe, personality, and I want everything to kind of live in that. So, if you walked into High Voltage and you saw some like Seymour Duncan blackouts on a shelf right next to throwback, you would probably raise an eyebrow. So I don't want that to happen, and that's not to exclude anybody, but we want to have a curated selection of products that all make sense together. Square footage of the shop is probably like 600 to 700 square feet. But I like this one. Doyle keeps getting sponsors ads to open his own music go-around location for only $400,000. I mean, honestly, to open a music go-round style guitar store, it would probably cost about $500,000.
Yeah.
In inventory, in all that. So that makes sense.
Yeah. There you go.
It's only money.
It's only money. It's only your money.
Yeah. Let's see.
Easy for me to spend it. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's do it. You want to buy that building? It's only $1.7 million. Let's buy it. It's a good location. It's a good location.
Yeah, we found a pretty cool spot that might be.
It's like
the future.
Oh my God.
We'll see.
You gonna relic guitars for people?
No, Brandon.
I mean, most of the guitars are gonna be relicked.
I thought it was Homelander at first, but it's Soups. No, I did get a lot of questions about, will I do that for people? Will I offer that? A lot of people asking, will I sell like the guitars that I modded in YouTube videos, and that's a no. I would sell them privately, but those aren't. Either Mythos bought them or I bought them, and I don't know. I'd have to sell it to the store then, and it's a whole other thing. And I don't want to deal with that.
40 watt. I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
It is definitely, it's a little too good to be true. And I don't want to push it too hard on my boy over here, but I'm like, man, it ticks every box.
It does.
The hard part is like, do I spend that much money? We haven't even opened this store yet. And we're looking at like a different retail location, something a little bigger to grow into. And I'm like, well, I mean, are we confident enough that it's going to work? And we got to start looking at what would come next. And then you find something that would really work right away. Gosh. It's a little sweaty.
It's
very sweaty.
It's so perfect. It's close to Matthew's house, which is another reason why he's trying to sell it extra.
Oh, yeah. I know. It's actually mostly because it's near Edley's.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's near taco, barbecue, Italian, like everything you want. A great taco.
Donaldson is the neighborhood I live in. It's just right outside of downtown, and it's growing fast.
Yeah.
Hard to get a house there. They don't come up very often. When they do, they sell for a lot now. And like we're getting all kinds of neat stuff. We've got a brand new library over there. They've got commuter rail, and then the amount of restaurants that are popping up that are really nice is happening exponentially. So it's an interesting area to get into for this, and there's nothing like this over there at all. And easy to get to. I'm trying.
No, it makes sense, but it's like I don't have $1 million.
Oh.
Surprise, surprise.
Dang, bro, you've been holding out. I thought.
You liar! I've seen you wear that Omega watch. You full of crap. No, I desperately wish we could do something. I have called the bank to see, like, how does it look when someone who's not rich tries to spend
$1.7 million,
over $1 million on something. I guess they just live in debt. But yeah. Did we sign a high voltage volume agreement with our fellow tenants? I went over and talked to the bosses of both spots, and they're fine. We're going to be as courteous as possible. And honestly, if like, hey, you want to try a 100-watt T-Rock and it's going to get a little sweaty up front, we can always wheel it back in the shop, and you can try it out there because there's no offices, there's no phones out. Like, you know, everything connected to our warehouse space is warehouse space. So it's not going to be as big of a nuisance.
Pop up that last one. We haven't talked about trades and used and consignments that much.
So,
yeah,
it depends.
We just don't have we're not going to have a lot of inventory. We're not going to have a lot of space.
Yes.
So we got to be really choosy about what we bring in to sell.
Yeah. So, like, I'm totally open to buying stuff used. Honestly, that's probably how we would structure it instead of doing a trade necessarily. At least that's how I would think about it. It's like, okay, I'm just going to buy this, and, you know, we'll put that as a credit towards
I have this, like, thought of, like, we end up doing so many trades that we never ever sell anything.
That's something that I'm sure stores face.
Yeah, because you have to have a lot of inventory to make that work, I think. If we kept taking trades at some point, we would only be getting the couple grand difference or $100, $800 differences.
Right.
Every time somebody does trades, and then you make your money when you sell the stuff that trade, but then you trade that stuff in. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we may do consignments, but I'm going to be very picky about what comes in for consignment, and I'm not going to let you mark something up an insane amount of money so that you get your nut after the consignment fee. If it makes us look bad, and I think that's a problem for the guitar, for used guitars as a whole. You see people marking stuff up on Reverb, and then you find it on Facebook, and it's cheaper, and I get it. They're trying to make that fee. But the consignment thing at stores, when you see guitars that are listed at or more than what they retail for new, because they're used and they're trying to cover themselves for that consignment fee. I think that's real shameful, and so I'm not going to do it. Yeah. And buying stuff, well, I'll be really picky. A lot of people have sent me things, and I've said no, thank you. But also, most people don't understand.
Well, I mean, let's pop that. I want to talk about both of these, but whichever one you want to do first. As someone who lived in Seattle and spent a lot of time in San Francisco, LA, and Chicago, parking in Nashville is cheap.
Well, yeah.
Really cheap comparatively. And I'm just like, I know it might be expensive for some people, but like, my God, sometimes I laugh at how cheap it is.
Right.
But that's just me, big city Matthew over here. But this one, we were talking about this. Yeah, I think it's a kind of like, I don't know how often people do this, like where they just sell a guitar to a guitar store. But if we want to buy a guitar from you, we're going to give you 60 to 70% of the used price.
Yeah.
Because we have to make money when we eventually sell it. And most of the time when we've talked to people, they just tell you the price they want to sell it at if they were listing it on Reverb or on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, which is the full used price. And we can't buy it for that, because if you can't sell it for that price, how are we going to make... We're going to make no money because we can't sell it for more and then make money. And I think that just people seem really deflated and kind of sad about that when we tell them how much we would buy it for.
You'd think with the popularity of like American Pickers and Pawn Stars and whatnot over the years, people would understand there has to be profit margin.
And I think that like the way I would sort of lay it out to you is you're selling it because you don't want to deal with reverb, or you don't want to deal with you just need it moved. And that's, I mean, we don't want to take advantage of somebody that's desperate, but it's like sometimes you want to sell something because you're like, I'm tired of listing it. It's not moving. I need it gone. Or you're, and that's all it is, right? I think that's, I think it's a sort of like a weird spot where people kind of, so not a lot of people do something like that. So it's 60%, like Brian said here, is the norm. Unless it's something that we absolutely, depending on what kind of margins we're looking at. But
or
60 is...
there's like a scarcity thing, or we know that, hey, in 6 months, this might go, and then that's just normal stuff that you have to be aware of. I like this. Now gear this. Who will be the guest speakers players at your inaugural High Voltage Guitar Seminar Expo? I'm not playing any of that. I don't want any of that. I don't want to have those sort of things. I would love to have hangs, but like, set up where people do talks and stuff is not what this space is going to be for. This space can't handle it, really.
No, not yet.
So, but it is. It's very interesting how the used guitar market doesn't. I mean, and I think that's just human nature. You think I've invested this much money in something, and this is what it's worth used, and that's what I want. But stores are different.
But we've had a lot of like, sort of bumps, with a lot of gear over the last like pre-COVID and during COVID, where things were selling for more, and I think people got used to that idea that they were buying things and they could, if they sold it, they would actually make money on it, and that is not the case anymore for just about pretty much not anything. Yeah, and so I think people are still kind of like in denial.
They're scared to break even.
Yeah.
I
always like to think about it like, well, whatever I sell it for, that is the money that I paid to use it the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. So say I'm selling my special and I paid a certain dollar amount for it, and there's a dollar amount I'll take for it. Well, I got to play it for 3 years. So that's my fee for. Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
The depreciation is like your enjoyment fee.
Yeah, I used it. I loved it. That's how much I got out of it. I'm going to make a little money on it. I'm going to get some money back, but I used it, and that's the price for getting to use it for that long.
We got 2 more questions here, Roy. Chicken Little. We're going to be doing repairs, setups. No.
We'll make sure the guitar is set up.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, if we'll check everything out. We have a setup bench that Jeff and I use for stuff.
Matthew knows setup stuff.
The only thing that I have thought about.
Uh-oh. Have you told me this yet?
No.
Oh, God.
So you're getting it live.
Cool.
Like if someone buys, let's say they buy that Idris over here. We'll grab that while we wrap this up. Mm-hmm. And they want a set of throwbacks put in it.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
If they say, hey, could you install these? Yeah, we could do that. But otherwise, I don't want outside stuff.
Yeah.
But this is going to be, Matthew says this is the first guitar that's going to sell. And I think he's right. So
I think so.
Look at
this thing.
Boink.
Boink.
This is I don't want to hit the shotgun, Mike. This is our Idris HH that is inspired by
One Rivers Cuomo.
The one
of
Rivers
the band Huiza.
Yeah, it's really it smells good.
Does it smell Nitro Fresh?
It smells Nitro Fresh. Nitro Fresh! That sounds like something you get at the dispensary. This guitar just rips.
Yep.
Sonic Blue, Tort, Cream.
It's got little tiggity toggles for series and parallel on each pickup, which is cool.
It's interesting. I think on the bridge it makes it really sound like a telly. On the neck it just kind of like shaves off some low end and
man-made trem, which is a awesome Strat trem.
Yeah.
And 3-way switch, and just a certified ripper, as they say. I'm going to intentionally use as many cliches to talk about the guitars as possible.
We also kind of want to name the gear we have for sale in the store.
Yeah.
Everything has like a nickname. Like, oh, this is Rivers.
What do you want to name this one?
Rivers. This one's Rivers.
I thought Wheeze.
Wheeze. Jonas.
Wheeze. Jonas is good.
But there's one coming that is 100% going to be called Mr. Stay Puffed.
Mr. Stay Puffed.
So, yeah. That's the best looking Idris I've seen so far. Devin absolutely loves this one.
Devin was so excited.
Yeah.
When we put this one together. And that's like, an important part for us is to be able to like come up with some neat stuff like that. And then for y'all to get excited, because part of it for us is that, we have a very strong connection with the Novo brand. But then also, like, you guys know us, and so you can see that guitar and you understand what we're going for instantly.
Yeah.
And that's the connection that we want with High Voltage, is for people to go, like, it's just like, it's gear that you go like, oh, we're going to sell that. And like it's like there's already a built-in story for it. Which is really cool.
This one's going to be sad to go, I think.
These are pure PAFs.
Yeah, pure PAF.
Fralin pure PAFs.
And will we try to carry things like Fender, Marshall, Vox? Probably not. Fender's hard right now because they do so much work to sell direct.
Yeah.
And that kind of stinks. Any Saris J's? Yes.
Should I go get it?
It's locked up. I can go get it.
All right, I'll hold this. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a Saris J.
Don't hit this.
Yeah, this is cool. I think it's the coolest Idris so far as well. Look at that. Nice and chonky. Got the flippies right here. It's good stuff. Oh, there it is.
So, we're going pretty traditional on most of these things. So, Saris in, what is this? The 60?
The 64 three-tone sunburst.
64. So it's got the really solid red, the delineated.
Target burst.
Yeah, target. It's just easy stuff. The Mythos we got is probably my favorite guitar of the bunch from like the tone and the playing.
The Mythos update that they did for the Nucleus series for 2024, it was like, if you haven't had a chance to like see one and play one yet, they're exceptional guitars. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And we're excited about all of them, but that one, I mean, they're all really, the F1 we got is awesome.
It's a ripper.
So we'll do a full video of all 6 of these guitars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you'll see them.
But one of the things we're going for is just really either fun inspired stuff or just classic, classic looking guitars that just, when you think like what should that guitar look like, we want to have it.
Let's see the Mythos too. All right, fine.
The Mythos? Oh, it's all locked up.
Oh God, we should have known that we were gonna.
Okay, this will be the last one.
Last one,
and then we gotta go.
I gotta eat. Guys, hear that? All right, here comes the Mythos. Oh, do an impression of Zach while he's gone. I'm Zach. I like Ghostbusters.
I like good proton pack.
Look at me.
So, Mythos, look at this guy. Woo! It is awesome. And here, first F1 of 2024.
Oh God, look at that thing. Absolutely sick.
Like this. Right? Or is this like the first one?
This is, since the F1 is in
the new.
Well, the F1 is in custom shop now because it's not Nucleus, and so it was like 12 months for custom when they launched Nucleus in like January. So none of these have come through. We got the first one.
Yes.
Devin went and got that for us. So if somebody else has one on order and they ordered it like January, sorry.
Yeah.
But we got it first. I like this. That looks like what AI thinks a Strat looks like. And also Dennis Fano.
Yeah, I like the HH a lot. But this one is just wicked. The Mirrorist, I don't know what it weighs. It's light. There's the belly carve now. You can see that.
How loud this is.
Wait, play an E major chord.
Well, it's semi-hollow, you dink.
But yeah. So there you go. Solus M1. We have an M1 as well.
Feels good to be back in the game.
Yeah. But we're excited about all of them. We can't wait to get our Fanos. We can't wait to get the rest of the rock and roll.
We got our first Castadosa coming soon.
Yeah, the Castadosa, or the berry.
The Concha's baritone.
Conchas.
Concha.
But yeah. Really good. Really good. I like this one a lot.
I know you do. You get sweaty, boy.
Yeah.
You get sweaty.
When I started playing this one, just immediately. Like, they all had a thing, but this one just made me
I like this one because I have an F1. Not with the German, just the standard. I have the first F1. Not the prototype, the very first one after that. And I play it every day. So, I'm very comfortable with this neck. Yeah. So, there you go.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions before we get out of here?
We gotta go.
No,
Matthew gotta eat. Matthew gotta eat.
I have pizza today. Just so everybody knows. Homemade pizza, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that'll do it. Thanks for hanging, guys. Go to highvoltageguitars.com. You can sign up for the newsletter. Stay in the loop. We're going to...
We have a pedal launch next week.
Pedal launch on Thursday.
Look for a teaser. We're going to post a teaser today after this. And then teasers all next week. And then it'll be out on Thursday. And hit up your favorite local store.
Any consternation having Fano and...
From us or the brands?
They were cool with it.
Everybody was cool with it.
I think it's neat to have them both there.
Oh, I think it's super cool.
Our hope is to get Dennis up here to look at all of them.
We, never stop loving all that Fano stuff. I always love the Fano stuff. I've always thought they were killer guitars, and we want to get a bigger spotlight on those designs because Dennis nailed it with that Altefacto line. Right. And we're gonna have some really cool ones coming in.
Yep.
I'm gonna get real sweaty about that PX6.
Yeah.
Sweaty. All right now.
Okay.
Time to go.
All right now. Bye, everybody.
Nah.